Set in the 1870s, a lone rider named Smith arrives in a small town called San Miguel, located near the border between Mexico and the United States. He pauses to drink water from a well. While resting, Smith sees a young boy trying to enter a house but is harshly driven away by a group of armed men. The boy runs home in fear and is embraced by his anxious father. However, not long after, the same men return and mercilessly beat the father. From a window in the house, a beautiful woman named Marisol peeks out with a frightened face. As soon as she sees the commotion, she quickly shuts the window. Smith watches everything without intervening, then continues on his way to the town center. Upon arriving in the center, the atmosphere feels eerily quiet. Houses are tightly shut, and no one is on the streets. The townsfolk seem to be hiding on purpose. Some men even try to scare Smith off by shooting at him.
I reckon he picked the wrong trail.
Or he could have picked the wrong town.
But Smith remains calm and walks on until he reaches a saloon that also serves as an inn. There, Smith meets Silvanito, the elderly but kind innkeeper. Though he knows Smith has no money, Silvanito still offers him food, drink, and a place to rest.
Finish up and get out.
What's wrong with the place?
We've had too many killings. The place has only widows. I'm not joking. I want to warn you that those murderers will make a corpse out of you.
During his stay, Smith learns more about the town. Silvanito explains that many residents have died because of ongoing conflict, especially the men, leaving many women widowed. The town is now controlled by two rival factions. The first is the Baxter family, led by Sheriff John Baxter. The second is the Rojo family, which includes Don Miguel, Esteban, and Ramon Rojo. Besides Silvanito, Smith also meets Pereiro, an old coffin maker who now spends most of his time building coffins due to the frequent violence in the town. After hearing all this, Smith begins to devise a plan. He realizes that the conflict between the two factions can be exploited for profit. His first move is to show his skills. Smith kills 4 men who had previously mocked and intimidated him when he first entered the town.
Get 3 coffins ready.
Listen, stranger. Look at your mule.
He then visits Pereiro and asks him to prepare 4 coffins, sending a clear message that he's not someone to be underestimated. Shortly after, Smith meets Don Miguel, one of the Rojo brothers, and expresses his interest in joining their ranks. After witnessing Smith's impressive shooting skills, Don Miguel quickly welcomes him into their group and even offers him a room, though Smith declines and chooses to stay with Silvanito. Not long after, Smith and Silvanito travel to a remote location where a group of Mexican soldiers is scheduled to make an arms trade with the U.S. military. Observing from a distance, Silvanito tells Smith that the Mexicans are carrying a wooden crate filled with gold to exchange for weapons. But when the Mexican soldiers reach a site near the river, they are ambushed and slaughtered by a group posing as American soldiers. Shockingly, those American soldiers turn out to be the Rojo family and their men in disguise, attacking to steal the gold. Realizing this, Smith devises a clever plan to turn the situation to his advantage. That night, after everyone leaves the crime scene, Smith returns to the site, takes 2 of the Mexican soldiers' corpses, and props them up against tombstones in the cemetery to make it appear as though they're still alive and resting. Soon after, Smith informs the Rojo family that 2 Mexican soldiers survived and are hiding in the cemetery. Alarmed, since they believed all the soldiers had been killed, the Rojo family rushes to the cemetery to finish them off. Meanwhile, they assign one of their men, Chico, to guard the stolen gold hidden at their ranch house. As part of his scheme, Smith also visits Sheriff John Baxter and reveals the Rojo family's involvement in the massacre of the Mexican soldiers and the theft of the gold crate. Smith tells John that 2 soldiers survived and are now at the cemetery. Pleased by this news, John sees it as a golden opportunity to finally take down the Rojo family's dominance over the town. He heads to the cemetery with his son Antonio. Having deceived both families, Smith secretly sneaks into the Rojo ranch and overpowers Chico. Inside the house, he finds the stolen gold and prepares to take it. But just as he's about to leave, he hears someone entering the room. Ready to strike, thinking it's Chico or another Rojo man, Smith accidentally punches Marisol, knocking her unconscious. It turns out the boy Smith saw earlier was Marisol's son, trying to visit her. The Rojo men had driven him off because Marisol was being held hostage by Ramon Rojo. Learning this, Smith gets an idea. He decides to bring Marisol to the Baxter family, not wanting to blow his cover or reveal his true intentions, to incite conflict between the two factions for his own gain. Meanwhile, a shootout erupts at the cemetery between the Rojos and the Baxters.
What do we do? Try to keep them busy long enough for me to get those two down there.
San Baxter! You can have them now if you like! These dead men can't talk!
The Rojos gain the upper hand and capture Antonio as a hostage. However, when they return home, Ramon panics upon discovering that Marisol is missing. He assumes the Baxter family kidnapped her, and his suspicion is confirmed when the Baxters offer a hostage exchange, Marisol for Antonio. The next day, both sides agree to the exchange in the town square, with all residents watching. During the exchange, Marisol's son Juanito and her husband Julio approach to reunite with her. Seeing this, Ramon orders his men to kill Julio, but Silvanito and Smith intervene, not wanting Juanito to witness his father's murder. Smith then tells Marisol to return to Ramon while instructing Julio to take their son and leave town immediately.
You were one to get out of town.
Get Julio!
I'm gonna make you pay. What's
Let him be.
Better get going, Ramon's waiting. And you, get that kid home where he belongs.
Silvanito had earlier informed Smith that Ramon was holding Marisol hostage because he accused Julio of cheating in a card game. That night, the Rojo family invites Smith to celebrate their victory with drinks. However, feeling sympathy for Marisol, Smith secretly plans to rescue her.
Return tomorrow. All the wagons are ready.
Everyone, enjoy yourselves during my absence.
Pretending to be drunk, he is taken to a room to rest. After Ramon's men leave, Smith sneaks out, kills the guards, and frees Marisol.
Hello?
There's somebody shooting up in this smoke. Saddle the horses immediately. Come on, let's go.
He then destroys the place where she was held to make it look like the Baxters had attacked. Smith reunites Marisol with Julio and Juanito, gives them money, and urges them to leave town for their safety. Meanwhile, the Rojos discover what Smith has done and, feeling betrayed, capture and torture him to extract Marisol's location. When Smith refuses to talk, they imprison him in a storeroom.
Where did you hide my son?
Soon after, Chico and another guard come to check on Smith, but are caught off guard when a liquor barrel rolls toward them, killing them both. Though weak, Smith crawls out and escapes. At the same time, Ramon and his men rush to the scene, but Smith hides by the door. Once they all enter the room, Smith sets it on fire. Unfortunately, Ramon and his men escape the flames, but the fire spreads quickly.
Let's get out of here.
Ramon orders his men to extinguish it while he and others head to Silvanito's place, knowing they are close. Hiding beneath the floorboards, Smith hears their conversation and rushes to warn Silvanito. But he's too late. Ramon and his men arrive and interrogate Silvanito, torturing him brutally for information. Silvanito, not knowing where Smith is, chooses silence despite the pain. Smith, burning with rage but too weak to fight, goes to Pereiro and asks the old man to hide him inside a coffin and take him away. Meanwhile, the Rojo family, thinking Smith is hiding with the Baxters, burns down the Baxter home and brutally kills every member, even those who had surrendered.
Don't shoot! We surrender! Don't shoot! I surrender! Don't shoot! We're coming out!
I want to take a look at this.
We surrender! Done! No tricks! I'll get out of town! I'll do whatever you like!
Are you sure? You had better ask permission of your wife.
I said before, I give you my word! Well,
Maybe she won't be too happy.
I hope you're rotting hell!
Smith, hiding in the coffin, witnesses their cruelty, including the murder of an unarmed woman. The next day, Smith is seen hiding in an old mine, recovering and practicing his shooting to take revenge on the Rojo family. He crafts a steel plate and tests its bullet resistance, planning to use it as a shield against Ramon's deadly rifle shots to the heart. Soon, Pereiro finds Smith and informs him that Silvanito is still alive but being tortured daily. Moved by this, Smith decides to return to town to save him. As Smith arrives, he sees Ramon and his men hanging and beating Silvanito. Ramon, expecting Smith to come, fires at him, seemingly killing him. But Smith rises again, unfazed, as if the bullet had no effect. Ramon fires again and again, but Smith keeps walking, daring Ramon to shoot him in the heart.
You want to see me?
The Americana's dead.
Frustrated, Ramon runs out of bullets. Smith reveals the hidden steel plate beneath his poncho and shoots down Ramon's men. Then, with his final bullet, he frees Silvanito. Smith challenges Ramon to a quick-draw duel, Ramon with his rifle, Smith with his revolver. Smith wins and kills Ramon. Unbeknownst to him, Esteban Rojo is hiding in a building, ready to shoot. Fortunately, Silvanito spots and kills Esteban just in time. The film ends with Smith bidding farewell to Silvanito before riding out of San Miguel, leaving behind a now peaceful town. This story teaches us that cleverness and courage can be powerful weapons against injustice, but true strength lies in standing for truth and humanity. Smith, though initially driven by self-interest, ultimately shows that empathy and bravery to protect the weak are far more valuable. He saves Marisol and her family, avenges his friend Silvanito, and frees the town from the grip of oppressors. If you enjoyed this video, don't be shy, hit the like button, and if you disliked it, hit the dislike button twice just to be sure. You should watch the full movie. Thank you very much for watching.